Let's move to my favorite players to talk about in the country, Armando Bacot and Caleb Love. I tried to say that with a straight face. I really did. John Fanta, friend of the show. I think we got another nice little sleeper shout out on the DTF podcast this week through the Field of 60.
Our good friend, John Fanta.
Our good friend, John Fanta. He had a nice sit down interview with Armando Bacot. And there's a quote that Fanta pulled out and clipped this morning that is just incredible to me. I'm going to read it word for word. This is Fanta's tweet. Armando Bacot to me on Caleb Love transferring to Arizona. Quote, sometimes in life, you've got to get divorced. You have to do things like that. Caleb is like the wife you divorced, but you both still have a kid together. Thank you, Armando Bacot, for that gem. Thank you, John Fanta, for pulling that gem out of him. Carter, two of my favorite players in the country, Armando Bacot and Caleb Love. Just a simple divorce. That's all it is. Little messy. We got to figure out who's got the kids here and there. Do you love this quote? Like, what does this quote mean to you?
This quote is just hilarious to me because I think that he tried to make it come across as like, this was just a clean divorce. You know, we're going to be okay. We're still friends. We still, hashtag share the kid, make everything great, make everything good. That's not the case in this. Let me make this very, very clear. This is a situation in the divorce where the one partner is trying to one up the other one. Armando wants Arizona to miss the tournament. Armando wants Caleb Love to be have one of the worst seasons of all time at Arizona. I truly believe that he wants it. And this is vice versa. Caleb Love wants to be able to say, yeah, you thought just getting rid of me would make things all good and rainbows and whatnot. And it didn't. And now I'm with my new girl in Arizona and we're having a great time and I'm cooking. And when I say cooking, I mean, I'm shooting 41% from the field. I mean, that's just is what it is. So hilarious quote, very Armando Bacot-like. I think he's a quote machine. When you're in college long enough, you probably develop that skill. So let's make it very, very clear, though. This is a messy divorce where one partner needs to one up the other one. And I don't know which partner in this case is going to do it. I truly think that both are actually going to have good seasons and their teams are going to be good, but we'll see who goes further.
Yeah, they're both going to have good years. They're both going to have good offensive numbers, even if they're just the same players they have been. Caleb Love can be the inefficient guy and play a big role on a good Arizona team. Armando Bacot can get 18 and 16 a night, and North Carolina might be mediocre or they might be good. Who knows? Like their legacies kind of are what they are, and for better or for worse, they are intertwined. Shout out to my mom and pops because I don't have a ton of experience with divorce, like loving family, mom and dad relationship. I've witnessed a great marriage my whole life, but I have some like assumptions of what experiencing a divorce is like that I think apply here. First of all, I think it's a two-way street. I don't think like sometimes someone just messes up, makes a huge mistake or something, but it almost always ends in like some he said, she said. Like there are two sides to every story of every breakup, every divorce, whatever level of relationship. When it dies, there's two sides to what happened there. And I feel like publicly, all we've really gotten is the North Carolina side. Like all anyone's heard is, oh, Caleb Love's toxic. Oh, he was a bad locker room guy. Oh, he really like shot them out of games. We got to get this guy out and everything's going to be way better. Card, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm starting to think that might not be the 100% truth here. Like, I think there needs to be some look in the mirror element of the guys in the North Carolina locker room to admitting that they played a role in how bad last year's team was. And the fact that their superstar is just coming out so publicly on record and not shying away from like, oh, it's a divorce. We had to get the ex-wife out. Like, that's crazy to me. And I don't know if he was trying to say, like, I still got love for this person. It didn't read to me. Like, reading that quote did not read like that to me. It read to me like he messed up and he's gone. And I just wouldn't say that on record if I'm Armando Bacot, because I think he played a big role in part of why North Carolina had issues last year. And two, I think there's lingering effects to a divorce in general. Like we can act like, oh, everybody moved on and, better me, new me, all of that, whatever. there's lingering effects to this North Carolina locker room with Armando, clearly. Like, whether or not Caleb Love is in there, his brain's still on Caleb Love. And I don't think it's going to be as easy to just kick him out and this team's suddenly good. And I don't know that it took this quote for me to think that. I've kind of been skeptical on North Carolina all offseason. You've been a lot higher on them than I am, but I feel like there's some lingering stuff here that's going to be there as long as Armando's there.
After this quote, I am less high on North Carolina. I will let that be known, because I think that, yes, it's a funny quote. It truly is. But he easily could have said, Caleb went his way. It's his decision. Wish him the best. He could have said that. But the whole divorce analogy makes it seem like he still got a little bit of, I don't know. He's still worried about Caleb. Like, Caleb Love's presence is still felt in the locker room because everyone's still thinking about how they're going to be good because they got rid of him.
Yeah. I mean, general principle, I think if you're the guy giving quotes about your ex, you're kind of losing the breakup.
Yeah. Oh, you 100% are.
And so if we're like, let's assess these two sides of this breakup. We've got Caleb Love, who has left Chapel Hill, and he's now in a beautiful campus with lots of exciting, beautiful things around him in Arizona, on a good basketball team, playing for a good coach that could likely win the Pac-12 this year. And he's going to have a huge role on that team. And he hasn't said a word about his ex. He's just got some fire videos out, put a fire pic to the gram. Like, Caleb Love, for lack of a better word, Cart, is living his best life out there in the West. And meanwhile, we're back here in Chapel Hill where I'm supposed to believe that they got the toxic guy out of here. Ooh, they're the one that broke up with the toxic ex. Well, you're still talking about the toxic ex. And sorry, no offense, but your new girl's Paxton Wojcik. Like, your new girl's Cormac Ryan. And I believe Paxton Wojcik follows us. I love him. But, like, it's not like we moved on from Caleb Love to more talented new girlfriends than Caleb Love. So, like, I'm just looking at Armando Bacot in the mirror right now. Like, he did a sit down with Jeff Goodman last week where he talked about leadership, and he said, "Oh, we've never had a leader." Well, who's your leader this year? And he was like, Cormac. Like, this is not good, dude. Like, look in the mirror, point a finger at yourself. Stop blaming Caleb Love, bringing up that he's your ex-wife. Like, move on. And I think, I don't know. I think this could be a rude wake-up call for North Carolina.
Yeah. And also, I want to go on record right now saying that if Sleepers ever got, a hypothetical divorce, there'd be a lot of prayers at night by me on your downfall and your next step as a podcaster.
This is horrible energy, man. I really, like, this swung around. I started in a bad place. I got to a good place. And now I'm like, if we ever get divorced, I would pray that you lose.
I mean, maybe not pray that you lose, but it would bring me a little bit joy if you got like a value world Carter Elliott. Like, that would bring me a little bit of joy.
I mean, I feel like I do a really good job of gassing you up at all times as far as being a podcaster. Like, I might take my shots here and there, but like,
you do. No, you do. This is a hypothetical world.
I would never even say there's a hypothetical world where we could break up as content creators. And I feel like after the last month of dialogue behind the scenes, maybe you would acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's true. That's on me.